Woo. My name is Brad Beatty. It's about the 20th time I've seen that. It's still. If you're like me, that video just hit you right square in the heart. It's hard to hear children say things, and they did a great job. Kids, actors from Lake Alfred Elementary, thank you. But when they say things like, I don't know where I'm sleeping tonight, or sometimes I pretend I'm invisible. And the fact that those aren't lines from a script, they're actual real words of children in homelessness. And yet, if we can take a deep breath, because while their stories are heavy, they're not hopeless. In fact, what gives me hope tonight is that we're in this room full of people who care enough to do something about it. So thank you. No place like home. It's not just a line from a movie with flying monkeys, Terry. It's an experience, a longing, literally embedded into our DNA. We were created for it, and we're destined to return to it. God created us for Eden, and Jesus ascended to prepare a new place for us at his Father's house. Home is a place where we learn what love is, what life is. It belongs to us and we to it. It's solid and safe, holding memories and our families. It's where the hidden growth of roots nourishes our development and life trajectory. The place we can't wait to go to after school or in a storm if we're sick or for the holidays. What comes to mind when you think about home? And more importantly, who? Is it the excitement of Christmas morning, the warmth of a Thanksgiving meal shared together and playing football with cousins? For my generation, I think it might be Saturday morning cartoons before chores or staying up past bedtime to read. Our rooms were sanctuaries where we kept our prized possessions. Our backyards were playgrounds. Home is where we learned love, worth, and responsibility, where we prayed before bed, gave thanks, celebrated, and learned how to slow down. It's where we learned we are loved and to love others. And it's also where we learned to handle mistakes, to grieve disappointments, and show humility when corrected. A stable home does far more than just provide shelter. It anchors a child's sense of safety, belonging, and imagination. Research consistently shows that when children grow up in secure, nurturing homes, their brains develop stronger pathways for learning, emotional regulation, and resilience. In contrast, instability and frequent moves create chronic stress that hinders growth. Imagine planting a tree and then uprooting it every few months. Even an oak would struggle to survive. A home is filled with warmth, stability, and care that allows children to flourish, not just surviving the challenges of today, but thriving into the unknowns of tomorrow. You see, when you work in this field with people, when you sit with families just trying to make it through the week, you learn that homelessness isn't just about shelter. It's about abiding, settling in and living from a place of permanence. It's how God talks about coming to be with his people. Home isn't just a place where you stay. It's where you learn to trust God as good and great and become rooted in his presence. As Paul said to the people in Athens, in him we live and move and have our being. Yes, last year there were 547 school children in Winter Haven who didn't have a place to call home. That's sobering. Think about that. 547 kids right here in our community. And across Polk County, that number jumps into the thousands. But here's the good news. And there is so much good news. Those numbers are changing. Lives are changing. They're down from the previous years because people like you, churches, businesses, and everyday neighbors are coming together in ways our city has never seen before. Since we started focusing on this goal 3 years ago, those 140 actually homeless families and 255 who are facing imminent homelessness were stabilized. That's just in 3 years. Our system of care is already undoing some of the homelessness and changing the future for families in Winter Haven, arcing the trajectory of 1,000 children toward hope. That's an applause moment. Because Heart for Winter Haven isn't a charity project, it's a movement. It's the church and community locking arms, like T said. And we're not just going to talk about homelessness, we're going to end it for children by the end of 2030. That's right. Thank you. We've already seen what happens when we act together. The Suarez family, thank you, and dozens like them are growing towards healing and wholeness. Hope is taking root again. And here's what's most powerful. It's not just housing being restored, it's dignity, it's faith, it's relationships. Because poverty isn't just a lack of money, and home isn't just 4 walls and a roof. When we restore those relationships with God, with self, with others, healing begins. You might wonder, can we really end child homelessness? I think it's obvious. The answer is yes. Because it's already happening, and it happens one family at a time. Now, imagine a Winter Haven where every child has a home, where they can dream about what they'll be when they grow up instead of worrying where they'll sleep tonight. Imagine a city where churches, businesses, and neighbors are so connected that no child falls through the cracks, where every graduate dreams about coming back to their hometown. That's the vision we're building together, the kind of city God calls us to build, a city that reflects his heart, where every child has a home, every family has a chance, and every neighbor belongs. And tonight, this is where it gets really exciting, you get to help make that vision real. If you're from a church here tonight, please pray for our homeless families. We have actual prayer cards from families that have filled out, and if you'll come by the office, we'll share some of those with you, and you can pray what they're asking for. And pray for our community to rally around struggling families. Maybe consider hosting a faith and finances class at your church as a vehicle for spreading gospel evangelism. If you're a business owner, volunteer for a Jobs for Life class or sponsor one. Join a mock interview. Hear stories about people rediscovering the dignity of work and walk with them toward transformation. Or maybe sponsor an employee who is struggling. Help shepherd them toward real life change. Join our Worker Spring job site and consider interviewing one of our graduates for an open position. And for all of us, for everyone else, just ask, let's get to know our neighbors. Love begins with seeing. You want to pay attention, both at work, at your favorite restaurant, at the Circle K. Nearly 1 in 2 families are one paycheck away from disaster here in Polk County. And more sadly, 8 out of 10 single moms are struggling from paycheck to paycheck, according to the United Way's data. So notice who's around you. Pray for them, speak to them, ask them their story, neighbor them. Then bring them to Heart for Winter Haven and to meet some new friends and to find a place to belong. And for those of you who have something else that maybe God has laid on your heart, I talked to somebody earlier, let's talk. We'll help you. We'll help you sort it out and see what God's doing. We need every good idea. We need every person to bring whatever resources and energy they can, because as a community, and only as a community, can we reach this goal. And like the kids said, everything helps. Your commitment tonight isn't just a donation, it's an act of restoration, a connection to that ancient call to rebuild the walls and restore the streets where we live. It's a brick in the foundation of a new future for our city. So when you give, you're not just funding programs, you're changing stories. You're helping a child go from fear to safety, from surviving to thriving. You're helping a family find not just a roof, but a community, a place to grow, to believe, and to belong. Friends, this is our moment. The mountain of the problem that we see is shrinking before us as we climb up it. Cynicism's shadow is disappearing as love's work shines through. And from where we stand tonight, surrounded by people of faith, compassion, and courage, I can tell you, hope is winning. So let's keep climbing. Let's keep building. Let's make sure that in Winter Haven, no child has to ever wonder where home is, because there really is no place like home. And together, we can make that true for every child. Thank you.